So the terminologies, guys, will forgive me as I just got better. I had flu, so yeah. So the first one, we will be focusing on the terminologies based on stock. So the other name for stocks, it's fondants, FONDS, fonds. It's fonds. That's fonts, not fondant. It's fonts. My apologies to that. So yeah, number one terminology that you supposed to be knowing, it's aromatics. So what are aromatics? Aromatics are herbs, spices, and flavoring that create the savory smell. So you know that anything that has to do with the aromatic, since from N4, it's something that has to do with smell. So aroma refers to how the food smells. As I think you can be familiar with the advert where they advertise aromat. So there is a smoke that says it smells aromat. Also the spice, the raja. So the guy that was blind, he go to smell the food. So that smell is the aroma. So the savory smell that today we are eating chicken at home, it's aroma. So aromatics are the things that make that smell. So when they ask you aromatics, you just have to remember what they use to create that aroma. So aroma comes from aromatics. Aromatics are spices, herbs, or flavoring that create that smell. So the number two terminology will be eau juice. What is eau juice? Eau juice is referred as meat served with their own juice. So for instance, eau juice, it can be, let's say you took a steak and you wrap the steak with the foil. So what will come out of the foil will be the eau juice, the juice of the meat. You don't necessarily insert water or inject any sauces, but you let the meat cook and serve with its own juice. So normally the eau juice, it's a French term, so it refers to the juice, the juice that comes from the meat. So always remember, anything that has to do with eau juice, once you hear the juicy, just think of juicy. But the O, you can just think, could be the meat, possibly, but that term that says eau juice, you cannot forget it if you will apply it the way I'm saying it. And I forgot to mention one thing that I always mention is that I always encourage my viewers to always note the points that they think they are necessary for them to remember whatever we'll be explaining, or for them to better their studies. So examples make more understanding than reading itself. So understanding, it's 80% and reading is 20%. So if you understand more, you could apply the knowledge more than reading more and not understanding. So the principle to follow to produce sorry guys, I just skipped. So the next terminology will be blanching. So blanching, you know it from N4. So the term blanching refers to a method that is used when you are blanching. You expose the meat to a boiling point for as minimum or as maximum as 2 minutes, and then you rapidly cool it down. So that's blanching. It's taking it to a very hot boiling point. You pour water, you boil it for 2 minutes, then you rapidly cool it. So blanching, normally when you're about to fry or to roast your meat, this is the first step that you do, which is blanching. Or you are blanching the meat. So that means the person did not cook the meat, but he or she exposed the meat to a boiling point, and then she or he repeatedly cool it down. So there are factors that you can contribute towards that. You can say, I'm doing that to destroy any bacteria. You can do that so that the meat gets to be cooked well done. So yeah. Then the other one is bouillon. So what is bouillon? So bouillon is the liquid that results from simmering meats or vegetables, also referred to as broth. So I think practical one, how I know it, at my institution, you normally start with soups. You normally start preparing soups. So when you're preparing soups, you will get this liquid that they call broth. So bouillon is same as broth. Broth, it's the water. Let's say you take carrots or potatoes, you boil potatoes. That water, it's called broth or bouillon. Bouillon is the French term for broth. So that water, it could be used for several things. So you will also get to understand it as you do practical. So I think you can have bouillon. So the bouillon is the water that is being used, that is that you get from boiling vegetables or meat. Does not necessarily have to be vegetable, but meat. So food, you see, when you boil chicken or meat, you will have that water and that kind of wood of veggies. So we are referred to as that liquid with broth. So bouillon is that bouillon is the French term for broth. So broth refers to that water that you use or you get from boiling vegetable or meat. So banquet grain. So what is banquet grain? So banquet grain is a French term. So how they call it, they say bouquet grain. I think it's there on your textbook. So yeah. So you will check the banquet grain. The French term, it's a French term. It refers, it's a term. It refers to a bag of herbs. So it refers to a bag of herbs. So banquet grain refers to a bag of herbs. So banquet grain, it simply means that this is the bag of the herbs. So it's a bundle of fresh herbs tied together. So normally the Indians, how they put their spices or the herbs, they normally have those brown bags. I don't know if you are familiar with it. So I do not have visuals at the moment, because yeah, time is behind us. Those brown bags that normally Indians people, they put their spices or their herbs inside. So moving forward to brown stock. Brown stock is a amber liquid made by simmering poultry or beef first. So brown stock, it's an amber liquid made by simmering. Remember, simmering is not cooking or is not boiling. Simmering, you just put a little bit of water inside a pot or a saucepan and you let the meat simmer. It does not boil, it simmer at the lower heat. That means it's like, how can I put it? It does not boil the meat, but it simmers the meat. So brown stock, it's made out of simmering beef or poultry and valley and game bone that have been browned first. So we're still gonna discuss the brown stock. So yeah, Chaud-froid. So Chaud-froid, it's reduced stock or velouté with gelatin used to coat cold meat and chicken with elaborate garnishes. So Chaud-froid, it's reduced stock. So we still gonna touch on stocks. So I don't wanna confuse you, but Chaud-froid, you can just remember the term Chaud-froid. You can just say Chaud-froid is a reduced stock. So that should be your first point. Then it is used for coating cold meat. You can also get accredited for mentioning that. You can also say it can elaborate garnishes. That means it can extend the garnishes. It can complement the garnishes. So Chaud-froid, a reduced stock, a velouté with the gelatin used to coat cold meats, cold meat and chicken with elaborate garnishes. So that should be your simplest term. Then the concassé. What is a concassé? A concassé is tomatoes that must be strained with cheesecloth or filter so that no seeds or skins get into the stalks. So the concassé, it's simply meaning that the saving of the tomato. You save the tomato so that the seeds can be excluded from saving the tomato itself. So you want the tomato, but you want to exclude the seeds of the tomato. So basically that's what it means, concassé. So it says tomatoes must be strained with cheesecloth. So cheesecloth, you can, I think, you will learn about the different types of cloth when it comes to food and beverage. So but yeah, you will know what is a cheesecloth, or you can just search a cheesecloth so that you have the idea of what it looks like. Coulis, a thick pureed sauce made from vegetable or fruit. Coulis is a thick pureed sauce made from vegetable or fruit. So Coulis is a thick pureed sauce made from vegetable or food. So Coulis, just know that it's a thick pureed sauce. It is made from vegetable or food. So Coulis is a sauce that is extracted from vegetables and fruits. It's a plant-based sauce. That's the simplest way you can remember it. When they say Coulis, you can just say it's a plant-based sauce. So it comes from anything that has to do with plants or vegetables. So it's a plant sauce. Cod bouillon. So cod bouillon, an aromatic vegetable broth used for poaching fish or vegetables. So remember I said that bouillon is the liquid that you get from simmering vegetables or meat. So here they say cod bouillon. So they added only cod bouillon. So the cod bouillon is an aromatic vegetable broth. Cod bouillon. It's an aromatic vegetable broth used for poaching fish. So this broth, it is used for poaching fish. That means it's a broth that is being extracted from vegetable water, and it is used for poaching. That's another method of cooking, poaching. You should be knowing these terms since you are doing N5. We have passed through the phase of explaining the cooking types of method. So poaching fish. So you normally use the aromatic vegetable broth for poaching of the fish. So degreasing. You also did degreasing in N4. So degreasing is the process of removing fat that has been cooled and hunted from the surface of the stock. So it's just as simple as it is degreasing. Just think of milk when you are removing that excessive fat. So decreasing, you are extracting that fat out. You're excluding the fat out from the milk. So that's what decreasing means. It's removal of fat that has been cooled. We can just say that the marker will award you for that. So a demi-glace is a rich brown sauce traditionally made by combining equal parts of Espanol sauce and veal stock, reducing the stock to 50% and its starting volume. So demi-glace, it's a rich brown sauce. So a demi-glace just remembers a brown sauce, a rich brown sauce. So a demi-glace is a rich brown sauce. Those are your first points. It's a rich brown sauce. You could say it is made by combining equal parts of Espanol sauce and veal stock. So instead of saying Espanol sauce, you could just say demi-glace is a brown sauce. It's a rich brown sauce that is made by combining sauce and stock, adding them equally as 50%. That shows that you know what a demi-glace is. The marker will have to award you for mentioning that it consists of a stock and a sauce, even if you don't know which sauce, but for the fact that you know that the sauce has to be there and the stock, so you get marks for that, for mentioning that. Fond. Okay, fond means a base. So a fond is a base. So that's your first point. A fond is a base fitting definition for liquids which form the foundation for many different food preparations. So I found it's a base for each and every dish that you cook. The first foundation, let's say for instance you want to make a milk tart, so that tart crust, it's your font. That tart crust, the rice, let's say you're cooking a Sunday course, the rice will be your foundation, will be the basic thing that needs to be there. Starch is a basic, so a font refers to a base for liquids which form the foundation for many different food preparation. So I think I made a mistake explaining the rice, but here it says font means a base fitting for liquids which form the foundation. That means, let's say you want to make for instance you want to make a sauce. You know that you cannot make a sauce without milk. The sauce have items. So a font refers to that liquid that you need to form something. So it's a basic thing for forming of that particular sauce. So for me or format, it's a very similar to fish stock. This is a high flavored stock made with fish bones and reduced to intensifying flavor. So for me, very similar to fish. Note that. So for me, it's a very similar to fish stock. It's very similar to fish stock. So your points should say, for me, it's very similar to fish stock. This is a high flavored stock made with fish bones and reduced in intensifying flavor. It's reduced to an intensifying flavor. So it has those use the fish bones to have for me. You use the fish bones, so that is why it's similar to a fish stock, because it consists of fish. The dressing of to glaze on it. Glaze, you know it. You give you give scones that so that egg trash mixture often used to some sauces. So some sauces such as mayonnaise, what's this? Mayonnaise, chip sauce, hollandaise, they often require liaison because liaison include what? A mixture of egg yolks and heavy cream, often used to finish sauces. So that those kind of sauces, they form they need liaison. They need normally, in order for us to have that complete mayonnaise, we must have egg yolks in the mayonnaise. Of egg yolks and heavy cream, often used to finish some sauces such as mayonnaise, hollandaise, sauce. You see, those finish. So it could award you a liaison is a mixture of egg yolks and it is used to what to complete sauces such as mayonnaise. The marker will definitely avoid you. So Mirepoix, you also did it in for Mirepoix. Remember Mirepoix, how it is spelled. It is spelled different from how it is written. So always remember that Mirepoix, it's Mirepoix. But the way you say it, it's Mirepoix. You don't have the X on the way that you say it. So Mirepoix is a mixture of coarsely chopped onions, carrots, and celery. So Mirepoix, you know that those are chopped onions, carrots, celery. So even when they ask what is Mirepoix, you can just say Mirepoix. It's a combination of onion, carrots, and celery. You can just say it's a combination of onions, carrots, and celery. It provides a flavor. You can also, that's another point. Let's say they want to, the question is for 3 marks. What is Mirepoix? Mirepoix is a combination of onions, carrots, and celery that provides a flavor. A flavor is another mark. So onions, there are 50%, carrots and celery at 25. Then we get your 3 marks. For instance, they say it's 3 marks, so you have to say that, then you get the marker will award you for just mentioning that. Remouillage, a weak stock. So remouillage, we're still going to touch on stocks. So weak stock, it's a weak stock made from bones which have already been used. So a remouillage, it's basically saying that this stock has been used most of the time. It's something that they use it to cook chicken. Now they're using it to cook beef. Now they're going to overused, so it's referred as a remouillage. The stock that is overused, you could just say that the stock that is overused for several dishes. So that's the best way you remember. It's the stock that is overused because it is used for chicken and it's used for beef. It was used for, now it's going to be used for fish. So it refers to the stock that has been repeatedly used. So the scum, the scum, it's accumulated at the top of the stock of the sauce that should be removed. So the stock is the scum. The scum, when you boil meat, there's those something that sticks on at the top of the pot is the scum. So the stock is mainly made out of that. Your stock cubes, they are made of that scum that sticks at the top of your pot. So what are stocks? Stocks are flavorful liquid made by gently simmering bones and vegetable to extract the flavor, aroma, color, body, and nutrients of the ingredients. So stocks, what are stocks? Stocks are something that they add flavor. They could be a form of a liquid. They could be a form of stock cubes. So basically, stocks are something that has to do with flavorful, and they enhance the color. They change the color of the food. They are nutritious. They have flavor. So those are the things that you could just say when they ask you what is stock. Stocks, the stock cubes. When you add the stock cubes, the water will change into that color. So even the smell will change, even the appearance will change. So stock is basically that. Then sweating, is the process which bones and are cooked at a smaller amount of fat over a low heat. So that's sweating. It's cooked at a lower heat. Vegetable stock made from Mirepoix. So Mirepoix, remember the combination of onions,